Hey guys, welcome to section 4, chapter 10 of the geometry program. And in this section, we're going to find the lateral and surface area of pyramids and cones. So to start us, let's look at some pyramids, and we need, again, two formulas. We need the lateral area and the surface area. So the lateral area is defined as 1/2 the perimeter. P, of course, stands for the perimeter still. And then we have a new letter L, and L is defined as the slant height, or in layman's terms, the height of that side triangle. So you can see it in our picture here, denoted by the purple ribbon. It looks like the height of that leaning triangle. And then the surface area, of course, is just the lateral area times, again, the area of the base, or we denote that as big B. So without further ado, let's jump in. So here I have a square pyramid. It's defined as a square pyramid because the base of this pyramid is a square. And we need to use our formulas to find the lateral area and the surface area. So the lateral area is 1/2 the perimeter times the slant height. So 1/2 the perimeter, of course, is just the area around the base. So it'd be 7 times 4, or 28. And then the slant height is given to us. It's 12.5. And if we multiply that all together, we're going to get 175 yards squared. All right, now we're going to use that to find the surface area. The surface area is the lateral area, which is 175, plus big B. So we have 175 plus the area of the base. Well, we're looking at simply a square with side 7, so the area is going to be 7 squared, or 49. And when I add that together, I'm going to get 224 yards squared. And that is the surface area for the square pyramid. All right. The square pyramids are pretty straightforward. The rectangular pyramids would be similar in terms of just adding up the area around for the perimeter and then multiplying length times width to find the area. All right, but what happens if our base is a triangle? All right, so this is a triangular pyramid, but the formulas are still the same. So 1/2 perimeter times the slant height. So in this case, the side lengths are 7, and we see that denoted here. And all of these bases are going to be regular bases unless they're a rectangle. So I know that the distance around is going to be 7 times 3, or 21. And then we need the slant height. And the slant height is given over here by that 10.2 value. When I multiply that together, I'm going to get 107.1 inches squared. And then we're going to use that to find the surface area. So this surface area is that lateral area times the area of the base. So now I have this triangle, and I have to find the area of the base. So if I pull that base triangle out, and I know the entire distance is 7 there in the base, and my height is 6.1, then I can find the area of this triangle, which is 1/2 the base, which is 7, times the height, which is 6.1. And if I multiply that all together, I'm going to get 128.45 inches squared. All right, so again, the tricky part here is just identifying the base and then finding the area of that base, I think. All right, let's do one more of this type. Now notice the slant height is not given in this picture. We're actually going to find it by constructing a right triangle. So we use the same formula. Lateral area equals 1/2 perimeter times L. 1/2, we could find the perimeter. Of course, that's going to be 8 times 4, which is 32, right? 8 times 4. And then times L. So down here, I'm going to draw out this triangle that we're going to concoct, where I know my height here is 3. I know half of my base is going to be then 4. And this is the value L that I'm looking for. Well, it's a right triangle, so now we have all of these things open to us. We can use Pythagorean theorem. If something wasn't particularly clear, we could use any of our trig functions. Or in this case, I made your life really easy, and I made this actually a Pythagorean triple. So if you don't recognize it, L in this case is going to be 5. But you could have found that by taking 3 squared plus 4 squared equals L squared, which is 9 plus 16. 25 is L squared, and L equals 5. So our L is 5. So if we rewrite this, we're going to have 32 and 5. And that means our lateral area is going to be 80 meters squared. All right, now to find the surface area, I'm going to grab that lateral area plus big B, which is the area of the base. And the area of the base, of course, is just 8 times 8, which is 64, because that's the area of the square at the bottom here. And when I add that together, I'm going to get 144 meters squared. All right, that's it for pyramids. Let's jump to cones, which I think maybe is a little bit easier. Again, we need 2 formulas. The lateral area is going to be 1/2 the perimeter times the slant height. The perimeter is that 2 pi r. It's the distance around the circle. But when we combine that or simplify it, it actually looks just like this, pi r L. Okay, where L is still the slant height. The surface area is still the lateral area times the area of that base. And of course, the base is always the circle. So that's just going to be pi r squared every time. Okay, so let's jump in and do 1 together. In this case, they give us the diameter, so we have to take that in half in order to find our radius here and to be able to use our formulas. So LA is equal to pi RL. Our radius is 3 and our slant height is 10.4. And when I multiply that together, I'm going to get 31.2 pi meters squared. Again, I would leave this in terms of pi. Feel free to multiply it if you want to check it at the end, but we're going to start using things in terms of pi a lot next year. All right, and then the surface area is that lateral area plus the area of the base. But the area of the base is simply that circle, which is pi, and then r, which is 3 quantity squared. 31.2 pi plus 9 pi is going to give us 40.2 pi meters squared. If you want to multiply that out, you would get 126.23, something like that, meters squared. If you wanted to multiply the pi, but feel free to leave it in terms of pi. All right, let's do one more. In this example, of course, we're not given the slant height again. We're going to have to construct a right triangle in order to be able to find it. All right, so let's go ahead and use our formula. LA equals pi RL. The radius here, they give us the whole diameter, so I got to take that in half for the radius, which is 8. And then we need to find L. So I'm going to pull out this right triangle, where I know now that this base is 8. They give me the height of this triangle is 15. And again, if we use our Pythagorean theorem, we can find L, and you're going to find L to be 17. This is another Pythagorean triple. All right, so now my L is 17. We have the slant height, then we're good to go. So if I multiply that together, I'm going to get 136 pi inches squared. And then if I use that to find my surface area, this is 136 pi plus the area of the base. The area of the base is pi r, which was 8, quantity squared. So that's 136 pi plus 64 pi, giving me a total of 200 pi inches squared. And then if you wanted to multiply that out, you would get approximately 628